Caitlin Clark said, "No layups in my house," and sent Angel Reese flying like it was a Southwest commercial. That flop had Academy Award winner written all over it. But the refs really looked at that and said, "Yep, that's definitely murder," and gave Caitlin a flagrant like she pulled a knife out mid-play. And Angel tried to run up on her and said, "You're crazy as fuck. What the fuck are you doing?" And Caitlin's all like, "This is just basketball. It's either a layup or free throws. Pick one."
It's just a good take foul, you know? If you don't, either Angel gets wide open 2 points or, you know, we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's just a good take foul. Every basketball player knows that.
And just like that, Caitlin Clark dropped a triple-double, won by 35.
Angel Reese got benched on live TV. And no, this wasn't a rest the starters situation. This was the kind of benching that makes you look at the coach like, "You sure about that?" But Angel, oh, she didn't pout. She went full savage mode. Her response had reporters blinking, fans gasping, and even the Gatorade bottles nervous. It wasn't just a statement. It was a mic drop wrapped in glitter and attitude. You won't believe what she did next. Seriously, buckle up.
Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever is currently putting the beats on the Chicago Sky. And I'm telling you right now, Angel Reese is furious because she wants to make it her business to beat Caitlin Clark this year. And I'm telling you right now,
Angel Reese got benched on live television. And no, this isn't some minor rotation tweak or strategic substitution. This was the basketball equivalent of being told to take a seat and think about your life choices. But let's not pretend this was some ordinary sideline drama. No, this was a full-blown public spectacle, and it happened with the kind of poetic timing you only get when the sports gods are sipping tea and watching ESPN like it's Real Housewives of the NCAA.
Black and white sports supporters, well, I told you guys there would be a follow-up video on the nuclear fallout. That's exactly what it's been. Over the take foul, as Caitlin Clark is calling it, and that's a great way to say it. It was a take foul. She was trying to prevent a wide-open layup, although one could argue that she might have missed it anyway, on Angel Reese, and then Angel Reese went absolutely, utterly berserk.
So what triggered the fall of Queen Reese? Oh, just a little thing called absolute rage unleashed like a Marvel villain without a script. Because Caitlin Clark, yes, the same Caitlin Clark whose three-point range could stretch from Iowa to Saturn, committed a foul. Not a tech, not a flagrant. Just your everyday, run-of-the-mill, whistleblowing moment. You know, the kind that happens 16 times a quarter when everyone's ankles are on fire and elbows are flying like they're in a blender.
You got this little white girl and Caitlin Clark out here busting that flat out, bro. Triple dub. And I don't want to hear none of that stat padding stuff, bro. She had a triple double, and that's just the facts, man. That's just the facts. So I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, she fouled her hard, bro. It was a malicious play." Man, that wasn't no malicious play. This is a malicious play. Check it out. What y'all gonna say?
But Angel Reese? Oh no, she didn't just react. She combusted. If the building had a smoke alarm, the fourth quarter would have been played outside. Now let's be clear, this wasn't the usual sports rivalry energy. This wasn't two top-tier athletes pushing each other to be better. This wasn't friendly trash talk. This was pure, uncut animosity with a side of, "I hope your sneakers unravel mid-dribble." The look Angel gave Caitlin could have melted steel. And the energy she brought? It made Godzilla versus. Kong looked like a tea party hosted by Mr. Rogers.
We need to talk about the hard foul. Caitlin Clark fouls Angel Reese while going up for a layup. People are making a big deal out of this. And me, I'm looking at it like, look, it was just a hard foul. I don't even think it was flagrant. The only thing that was flagrant was Angel Reese's response, right? How she responded to the hard foul. And obviously you can see there's still a little hate. There's still a little hate out there. But I'm going to say this. WNBA, lean in on this. Lean in on this.
But here's the real kicker. Reese didn't just stop at scowling from a distance. Nope. She made a beeline for Caitlin like she was auditioning for Survivor Basketball Beef Edition. If body language had volume, Angel said, "I have time today." You could practically hear the courtside commentators choking on their popcorn.
Basketball play, refs got it right. Move on.
And Caitlin? Let's just say she had that frozen, "what even is happening" expression you'd expect from someone who just got randomly tackled at a spelling bee. Because Caitlin didn't do much, unless existing counts as provocation now. She committed a foul, sure. but Angel reacted like Caitlyn had insulted her jump shot, her playlist, and her grandmother in one breath. Then came the benching. And not just any benching. The kind of benching where the coach doesn't even make eye contact like, nope, I'm not dealing with this, sit, now. The crowd went from hype to yikes in 5 seconds flat. Angel didn't even argue, which was the scariest part. She sat down with the kind of simmering fury you only see in people who have just been told they can't bring outside snacks into the movie theater. Oh, and then came the fallout. Because in case you missed it, Twitter exploded. Fans weren't just mad. They were launching digital nukes from all corners of the internet. Angel's own fans were torn between she's passionate and what in the WWE just happened. And Caitlyn's fans? They were throwing up memes faster than Angel got benched. Suddenly, the timeline looked like a crossover episode between First Take and Maury.
Walk me through your perspective on the flagrant foul. What was the point you were trying to make to her?
It's just a good take foul, you know. If either Angel gets wide open 2 points, or we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's just a take foul. Every basketball player knows that.
And Angel's response? Oh, buckle up. She didn't apologize. She didn't backtrack. She doubled down. With the elegance of a freight train and the subtlety of a jackhammer, Angel came for Caitlyn like it was open season. She made it painfully obvious. This isn't just a rivalry. This is a full-blown vendetta. If she had a dartboard in her room, there's no doubt who's on it. You could tell by her posture, by her snarl, by the way she answered questions with the emotional range of a hurricane. This wasn't competitive edge. This was war. If looks could foul, Caitlyn would have had 6 and a tech by the end of warm-ups. And let's talk punishment. Because the NCAA might act like they're all about sportsmanship and grace, but they were watching that clip on loop like it was a trailer for their next PR disaster. You don't just go berserk mid-game, try to verbally disintegrate a fellow athlete on national TV, and walk away with a pat on the back and a Gatorade. This isn't the 90s NBA. Reese is in hot water, boiling, scalding. NCAA. Officials are probably assembling a committee right now, wearing khakis in panic, desperately Googling how to punish someone without ruining March Madness ratings.
No sugarcoating this. This is pure hate. Pure hatred for that white girl in India. Excuse me. I need to specify. Sorry. The one that wears 22 in Indiana.
Her coach? Oh, he looked like a man slowly realizing that coaching Angel Reese might require a degree in conflict resolution and a minor in professional babysitting. The post-game press conference had all the energy of a guy trying to explain his browser history to his wife. Forced smiles, deep sighs, and the classic fallback, "We'll deal with it internally." Translation? I have no idea what she's going to do next, and I'm hoping the league suspends her before I have to. Meanwhile, the fans are having an existential crisis. Half of them are shouting, "She's just passionate," while the other half are Googling, "Can a player get ejected for giving side-eye?" And the rest? Oh, they're just here for the chaos, popcorn in hand, watching the WNBA turn into a reality show hosted by drama queens in sneakers. And let's be honest, this wasn't Angel Reese's first emotional fireworks display. No, she's been turning court appearances into full-blown soap operas since the NCAA days. She doesn't just play with passion, she plays like someone found her diary and posted it on the Jumbotron. But last night? That was something else. That was DEFCON 1 with a ponytail. That was full-blown, flip the table, WWE Royal Rumble energy in a league that allegedly has officials and rules. She charged around the court like someone just spoiled the ending of her favorite show. And no, this wasn't competitive fire. This was cartoon villain levels of theatrical. Like if she'd pulled out a steel chair, nobody would have blinked. The only thing missing was a theme song and a fog machine, which it did.
Do you like the way your players responded there, just to that moment? It looked like somebody was coming over, talking with Angel, coaching staff was talking with her, help calm her down, make sure that it didn't escalate any further?
Yeah, I think that it's a little misrepresentation to calm her down. I think emotions were high on both sides, and so I think Angel reacted in a way that any of us would react in a moment like that. And so,
because while Angel was benched, Caitlyn was still sinking buckets like the world wasn't burning around her. That's right. While one star imploded, the other kept rising. You can practically hear the Nike execs scrambling to change their ad campaigns. Maybe tone down the grit and lean into sportsmanship. Meanwhile, sports analysts are losing their collective minds. Is Angel Reese a liability now? Is Caitlyn Clark the real adult in the room? Do we need a therapist in the locker room? Everyone's got a take. Half of them sound like conspiracy theories. The other half sound like dramatic reenactments from an ESPN soap opera no one asked for. And you just know the behind-the-scenes chaos is chef's kiss perfection. Teammates tiptoeing around like they're in a haunted house. Coaches drafting apologies like they're working on a breakup text. PR teams in meltdown mode. Somewhere, a group chat is on fire. But the biggest L of the night? That goes to Angel herself. Because let's be real, no matter how talented you are, no matter how many rebounds you snatch or points you score, if the highlight of your night is a temper tantrum and a wooden bench, the memes are gonna win. Every single time.
Today, we saw Caitlin Clark become the fastest player in WNBA history to have 3 triple-doubles. Besides it getting a little bit spicy with her and Reese, what did you like that you saw from Clark?
Speaking of spicy, right? I think that was just a no free buckets foul. Now, it was a hard one, and I think the refs did their job, and I'm glad we could focus on the court. But Caitlin Clark, she came in this season as the MVP favorite for 2025, and even though it's one game, you can see that it may not just be all talk. She had a triple-double, as you mentioned, 20, 10, and 10. And you can see 2 things happening. Playing with vets like Juwana Bonner and Natasha Howard, it allows her to not constantly be doubled or triple teamed or trapped.
Versus Clark, they went head-to-head. Let's check out it as we pick this up early in the second. Angel Reese, she's been working on that jumper, and it's good. Put some respect on it. Sky down 3 under 10 left now. Clark finds her spot, and it's a green bean. CC beating the buzzer, and then check this out on the Sky bench. Angel Reese is like, man, come on, man. Y'all need to D up. How you gonna let her get that jump? A little shade. Fever up by 13 at the break. Third quarter. Watch Reese under the hoop here. After the miss, this is what everyone's talking about. She gets a rebound, and then Clark comes in with a hard foul. Reese has to be held back as Aaliyah Boston steps in.
And let's not kid ourselves, this isn't going away anytime soon. Angel's meltdown is now immortalized in 4K. It's on TikTok, it's on Twitter, it's in your uncle's group chat. Her face, mid-scream, mid-lunge, mid-drama. It's already on t-shirts. It's going to haunt highlight reels for the next decade. Even the ESPN graphics team is probably working overtime trying to find a frame where she doesn't look like she's trying to summon a demon through sheer spite. And Caitlin? She's probably somewhere sipping water and updating her LinkedIn with expert in de-escalation, professional in being hated for no reason. You could tell by the way she didn't even look back at Angel that this wasn't new, that this feud has been simmering for months, maybe years. And now, it's boiled over like instant ramen on a college hot plate. But here's the kicker. This could have been avoided. This could have been a great game. This could have been a moment for both athletes to shine. But instead, we got a live-action soap opera with fewer plot twists than patience. Angel's fire could have lit up the scoreboard. Instead, it just burned her own bench.
Make sure that tensions didn't get too high after the play. Now with this play, they did call a flagrant 1 on Caitlin Clark. They said that it was unnecessary contact on the play, but I immediately knew, I was like, oh crap, this is gonna be something that goes viral. A bunch of people are gonna talk about it. People are going to make it into something bigger than it needs to be.
So now the question is, what next? Will she get suspended? Fined? Sent to a meditation retreat with Phil Jackson and a bag of incense? Will the NCAA pretend it didn't happen because drama equals ratings? Or will they use her as a cautionary tale for every player who thinks passion means going full Terminator mid-game? Time will tell. But one thing's for sure. Angel Reese might have the talent of a superstar, but last night she had the impulse control of a YouTube comment section. And that's not just bad for her career. That's bad for the sport. Because at some point, the drama needs to end and the basketball needs to begin again. Until then, enjoy the bench, Angel. You've earned that view. And let's not forget the irony, the cosmic joke written in all caps across the basketball court. Angel Reese, who once styled herself as the ultimate competitor, the unshakable enforcer, the queen of trash talk, just ended up talking herself right out of the game. It's the sports equivalent of declaring checkmate before realizing you've been playing Connect 4 the whole time. Now her supporters are scrambling like a conspiracy theory subreddit. She's misunderstood. She's just emotional. The media is twisting the narrative. Oh, please. The media didn't twist anything. The cameras were rolling.
The Indiana Fever just played their first game against the Chicago Sky, and folks, it was not close. It was not close. I remember my timeline being flooded with people saying it was going to be a good dogfight. It was going to be a close game. It was going to come down to the wire. It was going to be a great one. No, it wasn't. It was a 40-point blowout. And it was a great game on one side. On the other side, it was a little questionable. But we got to see Caitlin Clark in full force.
The microphones were on. The eyes of every hot wing-fueled fan in America were locked in. If this was a misunderstanding, then so was the sinking of the Titanic. And Angel's timing couldn't have been worse. The game was tight. Her team needed leadership. What they got instead was a one-woman Broadway performance of Unhinged, the musical. Instead of being the clutch player she's supposed to be, she chose to be the chaos coordinator. And the only thing more disappointing than her meltdown was the absolute silence from the rest of her team, who clearly weren't lining up to jump on that sinking emotional ship. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark could probably run for office right now. After surviving that blaze of fury with the composure of a Buckingham Palace guard, she's practically bulletproof. The contrast couldn't be starker. Caitlin's calm versus Angel's emotional demolition derby. One looked like an MVP, the other looked like an unpaid extra in a drama class final. And here's where it really starts to sting. The punishment is coming. Whether it's a suspension, a benching that lasts longer than her lashes, or a nice, long, character-building sit-down with NCAA's most humorless compliance officer, Angel's about to learn that even stars can be dimmed by their own attitude. This isn't just about one outburst, it's about a pattern, and fans are catching on. The same people who were screaming her name last season are now wondering if she's more of a liability than a leader.
Man, this was hilarious. Look, Angel Reese was pissed. Look at her. She was still going out there a little bit. Look, took the jersey out. Well, what's going on? Look, and the thing is, I thought Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark were cool. But I don't know, man. The way Angel got up, she was like, Look at her. Ooh. I mean, she was getting after it, fam.
But a lot of hate going on out there. And I mean, hate from Angel Reese fans onto both Indiana Fever fans and guys that just want to talk about sports like Robert Griffin III.
She had the chance to elevate the sport, to show young athletes how you bounce back from adversity. Instead, she showed them how to throw away a primetime moment for the sake of pettiness. And if she's not careful, this won't be a footnote. It'll be her legacy. So, welcome to the court of public opinion, Angel Reese. The verdict? Guilty of self-sabotage with a side of unnecessary drama. Enjoy your time in timeout. Maybe while you're there, reflect on the fact that passion without control is just a tantrum with better sneakers.